Hello, good evening. It's 10 o'clock at night. Uh, good evening and welcome to the full-time Reds from the LFC Daytrippers. I'm Gav, that is Kev beside me. And Inter Milan nil, Liverpool 2 at the San Siro tonight from the fourth leg of the last 16 of the Champions League. As always, if you're in and you're watching, you're very, very welcome. Hit the like button on your way in, during the show, or on the way out if you can. Share across your social media. Subscribe if you haven't already. But most of all, throw your comments in there and we read out as many as we can as we progress through this next hour or so. Kev, a 2-0 win. Job done. But it wasn't what we were expecting, was it?
No, it wasn't. It was a really good game. It was a really good game. I enjoyed it, but it was one of those ones that when you're away from home, you take the win and delighted with the win. But they were a lot better than what I thought they were. A lot braver than I thought they would be as well. They played a 3-5-2, literally like a 3-5-2 should be played, with real whiff and real attacking intent. They decided to leave the three centre backs, defend as three centre backs. You had Bastoni overlapping at times. It was a really enjoyable watch, and we don't come up against many sides like that. You know,
Yeah.
we, it was different. And I suppose that's the thing with European football. You don't come up against the same old all the time. Normally, when we see sides line up with a 3-5-2, you expect to park the bus, the hitting the brake kind of thing. Tonight, they were far from that. That was a really, really good away performance from us. And people can say that it was scrappy for performance and this and that. It was away from home in a knockout in the Champions League, and we won 2-0.
Yeah.
And they didn't have a shot on target. You know what I mean?
We only had two.
That was enough. We only needed to.
Mm. I thought, just we'll get into the game itself and
We'll
how
get
we
into the
played and
game
stuff like
later,
that.
yeah.
I, I don't agree that it was a really good performance.
No.
I don't agree on that, but I think we got a job done. Um, but we could have probably made it a little bit easier for ourselves. But looking at the lineup, Allison's in goal. Trent's right back. He goes with Kanate. I was actually talking on the show earlier on today, and I actually changed my mind from Matip to Kanate. I
Yeah.
nearly got a bang on Bar Mane for Diaz. I think I had Diaz in instead of
Yeah,
Mane.
you
But
had Diaz, yeah.
um, he has Kanate, Van Dijk, Robertson. He goes with Fabinho, Thiago Elliott, which I thought was really, really brave. And then up front, he has Mane, Jota, Salah. And I was delighted with that because I thought if he picked Henderson, he'd pick Firmino. And when he picks Elliott, I think it makes up his mind to pick Jota. And I was delighted with it because it showed that we were out to get a result. We were going to go out and really attack this game. And I have to be honest with you, I think they have a shot. Martinez has a shot after about 5 minutes, and I think we dominate the vast majority. Midfield, we were fine. At the back, Virgil was brilliant again tonight,
He
by the
was
way.
great tonight. Yeah, he was
Um,
fantastic.
but I just thought the only problem in the first half, Kev, was I thought the front three, I thought Mo's decision making wasn't great. I thought Jota struggled to get into it, and I thought Mane was just really slow in moving the ball.
Yeah, it was almost like they were detached at times
Yeah,
from each other. I think I felt for Harvey. I wouldn't have started Harvey. I said that last night. I thought away from home in this kind of a game against that kind of opposition, I didn't think it was the best game for him to be coming back into. But look, youth and exuberance, you hope will win over. I thought parts of the game, I thought the game passed him by in the first half. He did a few little bits, but um, my biggest worry with Harvey is going the other way. And he did all right in patches, but I thought Fabinho in that first half had to do way too much work. He was everywhere and he was really, really good at what he needed to do. But between Thiago and Harvey, I don't think they helped him enough. But the front three, the ball kept bouncing off him. They couldn't hold it up. It was frustrating. When I said earlier about it being a good performance, anytime you get a win away from home and you shut the home side out to no shots on target, you're doing something right. We weren't as dominant as what we normally are, but I thought throughout the 11 tonight there was some really good performances in that 11. A lot of the unsung dirty work that Virgil does, that Kanate did, Fabinho did in the first half. When Henderson came on, he carried that on. I thought they were really, really good. It just doesn't get highlighted enough because it's not flash, and we don't necessarily see us having to do that kind of work that often. There's not that many sides that go toe to toe with us. is what I'm trying to say. And it's nice to see a side go toe-to-toe with us, and we still are able to shut them out and keep a clean sheet and win.
Yeah, like, I look, first half performance, I think if we make the right if we move the ball a bit quicker and we make the right decisions at certain times, I think we could have had 2 or 3. And I genuinely do. I think we could have come in at half time and we could have been 2-0 up and you would have went perfect. Absolutely perfect. They've had 1 shot. I think they 2 shots in the first half, but one of them, Martinez, won early on, right? And you would have walked off the pitch at half time 2-0 going, do you know what? You couldn't have done much more than that. We knew we protected ourselves well. We done well in midfield. The forwards were working well. They managed to get 2 goals. Whoever gets the 2, it doesn't matter. But we managed to get 2 goals on the board, and you think that's perfect. And you can make those subs with ease in the second half and get players on for minutes and stuff like that. Like we've spoken about, the 5 subs is a big thing.
Yeah.
But during the first half for me, like we've started really brightly. Like Thiago looked absolutely on it in the first 10, 15 minutes. He looked on it completely. And then, I don't know, it just slowed down a bit. And I think the word you use is perfect. They looked detached up front. You know, it was like someone was going to do something individual rather than interplay and stuff like that. That's what it kind of looked like to me. But still, at half time, I thought to myself, they've had 2 shots. We've had 6 or 7. Now, there's none on target from either side, but we looked the more dangerous. They looked like they were struggling a little bit. Their centre halves in the first half looked to me like they were going to make a mistake on the ball. They looked like they were going to make a mistake and we were going to hurt them. But
on that, what did you think of De Vrij? Do you think that he should have? I firmly believe that football has to introduce concussion subs. He was saying he had double vision, and there's no way that can be assessed. If he has a concussion, that can't be assessed. UEFA or FIFA have to introduce concussion subs that don't affect your substitutions in play, that a player can go off for 15, 20 minutes, be assessed, and if he's okay, he can come back on and it doesn't affect anything. Because that just looked all kinds of wrong tonight. You know, I just think going forward,
it's definitely a conversation that has to be had, because you do see it in rugby and you see it in NFL now as well. I don't know how long it's in NFL. I only watch NFL very sparingly, but I have noticed it where they will go off and be assessed, and you can bring someone on, and if they're okay, the person that's come on goes off, and there's no effect on it. They do have to look at something there, because you know, like, if a player has double vision, he could end up being concussed, and if you're playing on with that and it's not caught early, it can get very fucking dangerous, dangerous. You know, but I think you're right. Stephen Dunn there says the fact that De Vrij lasted that long out there is a disgrace.
But I think
it's down. Is it the
down to the
rules or
club.
is it the medics?
I think that there has to be an independent doctor at these games, like there is in boxing.
That goes on for a head injury and has a look along with the physio.
That goes on with that assesses it. It's your job. I mean, we're not talking about club level at League 1 and League 2. This is elite football at the highest level where money is no object in these games. After the Nigel Benn, Gerald McClellan fight, boxing changed forever. And you have to have two brain surgeons, 2 neurospecialists at these major events. And they do it, and they don't question it. You can't leave these kind of decisions to club doctors, because club doctors are influenced by the situations in the game. An independent medic isn't influenced by anything other than the injury that's in front of them. And if it's a concussion injury, it needs to be taken out of the club's hands and put in the hands of a specialist who knows what they're doing. And this is about player welfare and player health going forward. I just hope that UEFA and FIFA do look at this. The Football League, to their credit, have introduced some kind of concussion rules, but it's so mishmash that we talk about football a lot and we don't know the ins and outs of it. So I just think that going into next season, I hope that something is resolved around that.
And you know something, it's not hard to implement. All right, and if you say to teams, even without an independent medic there, if you say to clubs, listen, if a guy goes down with a head injury, okay, and you need to assess him, right, he comes off immediately. That's all you do. You say he comes off immediately. He goes to an assessment area. You bring on another player, anyone you want, and he can be assessed for up to 15 minutes or whatever it is, 5, 10, 15, whatever it is, okay? Independently when he gets off the pitch, by the way, right? So if you get any, like, instead of having someone come on the pitch, like you says that they're independent assessment, I agree with that. So what you would have at every game is a doctor there. Player goes down, head injury. Ref says, look, he's got a bang on the head. Straight away, Virgil van Dijk goes down, right?
Yeah.
He's coming off, right? And he's playing alongside Kanate. Fine. Virgil van Dijk gets a head injury. Straight away, ref says, it's a head injury. He makes the ruling on it. He's stopping the game for a head injury. So that's fine. Virgil, you're off for 10 minutes, okay? Or up to 10 minutes, wherever you make the decisions made after 10 minutes. And Joe Mata comes on for you for 10 minutes. And then he goes to an area, he's independently assessed. And it's like, no, he's fine to go back on. Okay? Back on he goes. And Joe Matip comes off. Or, lads, he has to stay off. But the person that comes on from it's not a substitute, if you get me. They shouldn't, the sort of way. So, at least clubs aren't losing a sub because if they're ruled to have to go off. A concussion,
if the player has to go off and stay off,
because of concussion.
Then that sub becomes part of the game, is a sub.
Yeah,
he's counted as a sub if he has to stay on longer than the assessment.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. I really do, and I don't think it's that hard to implement and put the rules in place that it's fair on clubs that have a player coming off or whatever it might be, that you're not getting penalised for someone that's have a head injury. There should be an exception made for that. Harvey Elliott, you said you didn't think he should start last night, but he does. All right, he doesn't do anything wrong. Doesn't do anything great. Kind of as one as I would always call kind of a solid performance. Nothing outrageously bad, nothing outrageously good.
Yeah,
just somewhere in the middle. But taking into a fact that he's 18 years of age, he's only coming back from a long-term injury. He's had an appearance against Cardiff. Does he play against Leicester? I can't remember.
I think he comes on late, doesn't he?
Yeah, he comes on against Leicester. I don't think he plays against Burnley. But how good is it for him, like, to come on to start that game tonight? Just as forget how he plays, just as part of his progression. It's huge for him, isn't it?
It's massive because it just shows the faith that the Klopp and the club have in him. And you look at the name. I thought Naby deserved a start on merit on his performances alone in the last games that he's played. I thought he's been very, very good. And to say that Naby was rested and Klopp decided away from home, Elliot, you're in, is a huge vote of confidence in the player. And it just tells me that going forward, he's going to be a mainstay in that midfield for years to come. As long as Jurgen Klopp is there, he will start more often than not. When he gets his full match fitness up together, and I think that'll come quick for someone his age. He's going to be hard to shift out of that team, and the others are probably going to be rotated around him and Fabinho.
Yeah,
I mean, look, I thought Klopp got pretty much everything bang on right tonight as well. Credit where it's due. Yeah, Barry Devaney's spot on there. Youngest player
ever to play for Liverpool in Champions League proper game. So congratulations to Harvey Elliott on that. And that time that he gets on the pitch, I can't remember the minute that he comes off in. I want to say 59.
It'd be around the hour mark. But that's going to be invaluable to him.
It's absolutely huge because you know what? I play him in the second leg. Yeah, and I'd say to him, "You've gone away and played these. You've got an hour. Now go out. You've had a look at them. You've played in that big San Siro. It's imposing. Now you can do it at Anfield and go and do it. I play him in the second leg. Absolutely.
I wouldn't have any problems with. There's, he looks like the kind of kid you wouldn't have any problems with him playing against anyone now. I think it's the same with Tsimikas and Robbo for me in that kind of situation. If Tsimikas starts, fine. No bother. If Harvey starts, Grant, if Klopp trusts him, then, that's enough.
John Summers says 800 games in his career for James Milner tonight coming on. A great
Yeah,
professional servant to the game. We had a chat yesterday on the COP update about the possibility of him getting a 1 year extension. But that'll come and go as we'll find out what
yeah.
happens with that as it progresses. But 800 games is a fucking huge amount to know, isn't it? Like, and it's not like he's 40 and
No,
doing it.
he's
That's the funny thing. Like,
36.
he's 36, I think. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
20
36.
years in the game. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can
So he's
remember him
averaging
making.
40 games a season for the last 20 years.
Yeah, I can remember him at Leeds with that big Strongbow shirt,
Yeah, huge on him.
and
Right winger.
yeah, and it was definitely an XXL or something, or he was just a pure weed when he was 16.
Yeah.
But every club he's gone to, he's kicked on and improved and adapted his game to the stages of the career that he's been at, and he's done is no different to when came to Liverpool. He cherished the leadership role that he's got in the club. He's respected by everybody at the club, and the influence that he has over players, senior players, as well as the younger people coming through, about the standards required to play at an elite level for a long time. It's priceless. If he goes on and signs another 12-month deal, if it's reduced wages and it's pay as you play, and the club decide to turn around and say, "Okay, look, we'll help you get your badges, and while you're staying on, you do a bit of work with you do a bit more work with the under 18s." All for it, no problem. I have no problem with him being around the squad whatsoever.
Yus says that the female commentator on BT tonight, he forgets her name, and so do I. But she was all right. She was good. The
She
female
was good.
commentator. Yeah. Worked with Milner when he was 16 at Leeds. I did hear that
Yeah,
mentioned.
I heard
And
that at the end as
and
well.
I caught the end of it. I heard her saying, I worked with James Milner, and she said something after, and I didn't get that bit. And I was like,
I
where
think
did you
she-
work with him? You know, I
I
thought
think she
maybe it was a
would have.
spar or something he was walking
No,
in.
I think she was. She worked as part of the education department or something at Leeds,
Ah, okay. Well, that makes
and
sense.
she might have been working in the
To get him through
coaching
his
side.
schooling and stuff like that or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
but I think she was involved with the coaching of the at the youth levels at Leeds, and she would have known him and worked with him that way. But I'm sure it was around the education. I think
No,
she
good
she
stuff.
might have been the education officer at the club or something. I don't know, but she helped. She did say she
Lucy
worked with him.
Bronze says Stephen Dunn was the name. But Lucy Ward says Jono. It's Lucy anyway.
No,
right?
Lucy Bronze. Yeah.
Emma Hayes says Laszlo. There's just loads of random names coming in now.
Emma Hayes is the one that's the Chelsea manager, or she was a Chelsea manager, I think.
Lucy Ward. It was Lucy Ward.
Lucy Ward.
Reckons just, and he thanks
All
Jono
right.
for it. But look, I wanted to get that in. I want to congratulate
Yeah,
you
no,
on 800
absolutely
games as well.
phenomenal.
I know he comes on later,
Phenomenal.
but I really wanted to do it. 7 home games over the next 8, says Paulie Walnuts. That's mad, isn't it?
That's great.
Yeah.
That's
Loads of home
absolutely
games.
fantastic.
Loads of
And the
home
best bit about that is even with the Burnley game, we didn't have to travel. It's only 40 miles up the road from Liverpool. So to have as many home games, apart from the final, the League Cup final, is huge, and I think we need it.
Is that true? 7 home games over the next 8.
Well, you have the home game against Norwich in the league. You have the home game in the cup.
Hold on,
You're
I get the
away.
one for you now. I get the one for you now. Hold on, because that's mad.
Yeah, you're away
How
to
does it
Chelsea.
fall like that?
Yeah, you're away in the League Cup final.
So home to Norwich, home to
Home
Leeds,
to Norwich. Yeah,
neutral
there's the
ground for the
rearranged
Carabao
game.
Cup, home to Norwich, home to West
Home
Ham.
to Milan.
Yeah, this is right. Home
Home
to
to
Inter,
Milan.
away to Brighton, home to United, home to Wolves or Watford, and then away to Man City. This is I'm buzzing now.
Oh.
I'm absolutely buzzing. Niall
good.
Mall asks, can we talk about Trent? Talk about Trent to me, Kev.
Yeah, I thought Perisic was really good.
So did I.
Sometimes you got to
He's a
dop
good
your hat to Sometimes you got to dop your hat to the opponent, and I mean Trent in the
He
first
was brave,
half,
Perisic, wasn't he? He was brave in where he wanted
for
to go.
someone who doesn't have pace, his game intelligence and ball skill is second to none, and it was always the way throughout his career. He was always very good on the ball, very technical player, and there was rumors about him moving to the Premier League. I think Arsenal.
United.
And Manchester United, yeah, but Arsenal as well were strongly linked with him for years, and it just never materialized. It never happened. I thought defensively, Trent was okay at times, there was a couple of interceptions he got late on in the second half where he cut out chances, cut out crosses. They tried to go 2v1 with him. And that's why I said at the start, they played the 3-5-2 in a traditional sense of it, how it should be played with real width.
Mm.
We play a narrow 4-3-3, but they really played wide. And they wanted the game played out wide for balls coming back in. And look, I thought Trent handled himself okay. Yeah, he could have done better in certain situations. Some of his passing in the first half was good. He played a couple of lofted chip balls in around the box to Jota, I think.
Yeah.
And there was one that he was definitely caught offside for, but it was the right ball.
He has a couple of efforts, doesn't he, as well? Like he's up there having efforts, and that's the trade-off we have to have.
Close as well.
Yeah, the free kick was always close, but that's the trade-off we have to have with Trent. You know, he is literally he's down on paper as a right back, but it doesn't really come across when you're watching the game. But a few
I was
people
really
in the
impressed
chat,
with Perisic. To be fair,
Perisic is a really good player. He always has been.
Good. Yeah.
A few people in the chat have said, though, in fairness, Elliot Salah did give him a hell of a lot of protection. And I think maybe Fabinho was doing an awful lot in midfield. I think if Fabinho hadn't got as much to do, he could have helped out a little bit more there. But he was trying to be everywhere, Fabinho. I thought Fabinho was great.
I did as well. But I honestly think that when Klopp took him off on the hour, it was more to do with the dominance that Inter showed in the start of the second half. He was starting to look a bit leggy, and it was the right thing to do.
Yeah,
you know, and people were. I can imagine the gasps. Henderson's coming off for Fabinho. What?
Yeah.
Well, he wanted to keep Thiago on the pitch.
The sub comes at half time where Jota goes off. Firmino comes on. Now, Chris Brack says Klopp said Jota went off with something around the ankle ligament, but Klopp said Jota could have played on, which could be a positive. So it could be just a little niggle he has there. All right.
Well, he was. He had the dead leg and missed the Burnley game
as well. Yeah, so play it safe and take him off. That's absolutely fine. And that's what the 5 subs are there for.
Yeah.
But Firmino comes on, and then the triple sub comes on 50. I think it's 59. I'll look it up because I like to know the minutes, but it's 59 minutes, I think. And he does Keita for Elia. He does Henderson for Fabinho, and he does Diaz for Mane. All right. Now, I thought at half time when he puts on Firmino for Jota, I was like, I didn't know about the Jota injury, so I would have done Mane, and brought on Diaz. That's what I would have done. Out of the front three, if you're going to whip one, because it's not happening for them. But again, it's very and look, you're dead right. There's loads of people looking at that going, Fabinho, you know. Keita for Elliott is absolutely fine. Diaz for Mane, I think everyone's all right. But everyone is looking at that going, he's taking fucking Fabinho off. You know, because he was everywhere. But like you said, he was doing that much into the ground. He was doing that much work. He's trying to save legs for different games. There's no doubt about it. But in fairness, the players that come on, I think, make a difference. I was happy to see how Henderson performed when he came on. I thought he settled us down a bit. Mm-hmm. He just played simple stuff. Somebody said he had more passes in the game in that 40 minutes than Thiago or somebody else had in the whole game or something.
Well, what he did do is he moved the ball fast. Yeah. He moved it quicker. He got it and gave it, and it came back to him, and he gave it again. And it settled us down, but it gave us control, and the fresh legs around us made Inter have to rethink what they were doing because they couldn't go to the bench. They had a very good 11 that played really, really well, probably played above themselves.
Yeah.
And the intensity of the game meant that, you know, Inter Milan in Serie A aren't used to that level of intensity, especially since Keith was saying last night, that 11 played at the weekend, Barbarella, and they were asked to go again, and not just go again, but go at a higher level again, you know, go at a more intense pace. They gave it their all for that 45th minute up until probably 55, 58 minutes. But then when we made the changes, you're talking Diaz with pace. You had Henderson quick in the passing up, and you had Naby was capable of taking the ball and making runs at their back three.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. It changed the game.
Yeah.
It changed the whole face of the game, to be fair.
And you know something? It changed the game. We get onto the goals in a minute. But that's what we want to see, Kev. This is what we... And, like, in fairness, I said earlier, whatever team he puts out, we just need to chill out, relax, right? But there is a part of everyone going, fucking Fabinho off, are you joking me? But I have to take my own advice at times and say, chill out, it's good. Because look at the players he brings on. Henderson hasn't been in good form. There's no way of getting around that. There's just no way of getting around it. But I thought he came on. I thought he settled us down, and he had got a bit more energy than Fabinho, obviously coming off the bench, which allowed us to get out because Inter were pushing. They were pushing from early in the second half right up until that happened. You know, for the first 15 in the second half, they were really pushing, and they were on top of us. You know, the sort of way.
You could see the bravery they had. Bastoni was making overlapping runs.
They were growing in confidence.
Midfielder. And they come out in the second half and said, "Look, Salah isn't going to track you back." So, and Elliott is just standing. The game is going past Harvey Elliott. That's what they'd have told him. So Bastoni, and that's Bastoni's strong trait of his, that he will, in the old Sheffield United kind of way, take the chance and act as if he's a fullback and go. And it created massive overloads and gave us an awful lot of problems for that 10, 15 minutes. But the substitutions changed all of that.
Yeah, and like Ian McLaughlin says there, lads, is it a worry that it takes Hendo to come on to get us to take control of the match? No. You want fresh legs to come on, doesn't matter who it is, to take control of the game. We were flailing a little bit. They were getting on top. You know, Fabinho had gone through an awful lot of work in that hour, you know. So we just bring other players on. That's what it's all about. That's what... Look, I keep going back to it. That's what City do. That's what City do. City bash it for 60 or 45, right? You might get a little go with them for 10 minutes, and then they go, right, bang, here, there's 3 more on. How are you going to deal with that? And it works out in the end. But that's what you want to be. You know, the sort of way. And the thing you would throw at this squad is it's reliability. Reliability was the biggest problem in this squad, and we're starting to actually get that back, reliability. And players now know there's nobody safe. Probably bar 3 or 4 maybe in the team that are absolutely safe in their position. But everyone's going to come on. Like Jordan Henderson's coming on there tonight going, I haven't played well at the weekend. You know, I've been taken
He's his own worst critic. Like.
Yeah, I'm going to come on here and I'm going to show you. Kate did the same. Had a good game against Burnley. Doesn't get a start tonight. I'll go up and show him. And Diaz I want to talk about Diaz in a minute because Diaz just comes on and he's like a breath of fresh air. He's just electric. And I'm not saying electric in the sense that he's just cutting people apart, but just his energy and his purpose, I think, is brilliant. And that was what I felt we were missing a little bit up top in the first half. But we get the breakthrough, Kev. 75 minutes, Robertson corner, Firmino header. When I seen it first, I thought that keeper should have got to that. But then I seen it from behind the goal, literally in the side net, and I was like, no, the way it's headed, he doesn't kind of see it late, and he's moving the other way. And for me, it's a great header by Firmino, Kev. It's a brilliant header.
It's a brilliant run, and it's a training ground corner because they set it up that way. You could see they left that space vacant, and the only thing that would have stopped that corner is if you had a man in the far post. And as they don't have a man in the far post, it could only be scored there. It was a fantastic cross, and it was a brilliant header. It was an absolute peach of a header. And in fairness to Handanovic, he got closer than I thought he did. You know, and for a keeper of his years, who's been around an awful long time, he did really, really well. But Bobby deserved that because of the grief that he's been put under. You know, he's been written off by everyone, and he's always capable of that, especially away from home. You know, he and even when he came on at the start of the second half, he wasn't brilliant. You know, he was still losing the ball in dodgy areas, and it was almost like he wanted more time than he had. Thiago suffered from that as well at times. He wanted more time on the ball than Inter were ever going to give him. But when he grew into the game, and after the goal, he was a different player. His confidence just went up another level.
Stephen Dunn reckons Salah looks a bit awful, but Diaz wants to put on a show. It's exciting. Kevin Ball is saying here that it's on Twitter that Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain pulled up in the warm down with a hamstring issue. So, but look,
we'll see.
We'll have to wait and see. And you'll find out more from Klopp, I would say, on Friday with his press conference for the Norwich game. So we keep an eye out on that. 350 people watching, 164 likes. Reclaimer definitely wants to get to 200. So if you can hit that like button while you're in here, literally while you're watching, there's a button there that says like. There's like, it's there. So hit that. If we can get over 200, be absolutely delighted. But to have 360 or 50 or whatever it is watching it is absolutely brilliant. And the comments are flying in here. They're great. They'll definitely keep us going for another 20 minutes or so.
Absolutely.
Did you feel a few people I was talking to, there was a couple in the chat there saying like felt a bit bad for Inter with that goal in 75, but Liverpool no, like what I know what they're saying, like Inter did put a lot into it.
If I was a neutral, yeah, I would, but no, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, no, yeah, fair enough. But that's just an away performance, isn't it? You know,
we sucked the life out of him.
Yeah, we do a good 45, but a bit ropey for 15, and then I think we start to take control again on the hour. Probably 65, and we get that goal on 75. But it's a huge goal, isn't it? Forget away goals, it's just a huge goal because if you offer me a draw on 70, I go, yeah, no problem. But when you start scoring, when you get, I can't see anyone coming to Anfield trailing 2-0 in world football, coming to Anfield and overdoing us in the second
scoring 3, no.
Yeah.
At the same time, I think tonight might have been a wake-up call for, well, it was a wake-up call for me, and I'd imagine for a lot of fans that thought Inter were just a bunch of aging ex-Premier League players who were gone to Italy for a retirement plan. You know, they were very good. They were really entertaining to watch, and it wasn't anywhere close to what a Conte side would have looked at. It was more or less the same players that Conte would have had. But it was the most un-Conte, like Inter Milan, you'll see. Dzeko was a right handful all night as well.
Dzeko's a great player.
He hasn't lost a thing in his head. In his head, he can still do everything that he used to do when he was 25 and 26. And it was probably a wake-up call to the players. You know, that they thought, you know, we're on a really great run of form. We'll just go and score a couple of early goals and we'll steamroll them. You know, we could do what City did to Sporting. You know, and we're capable of that at times. But credit where it's due, Inter Milan were very good.
Yeah, I thought they were good.
And that's what I said. It was a good game. I think we deserved the win. Whether we deserved 2-0, I don't know. But we definitely deserved the win.
Yeah.
But saying that, if it had been 2-1, wouldn't argue. If it was 1-1, I don't think there would have been much of a discussion. You wouldn't feel too hard done by. But 2-0 away from home, perfect.
Yeah. Jono says that Inzaghi in his post-game said Liverpool give you false hope. I think Liverpool gave Inter a bit of hope from 45 to 60 and then just took it away again. And once they get the first, I was like, yeah, this is grand.
You wonder if it's a case, did they lose concentration?
Well,
it was a case they thought they were going really, really well, that a goal was going to come for them. But they also knew in the back of their head, there's nothing off the bench to come and save them.
I don't know if it's concentration, Kev. I would say it's just... Like, that's just a brilliant header from Firmino. Like,
yeah, it was
the
a great
run he
run,
makes,
a good goal.
the timing of the jump, the timing of the flick, the where he puts it. You can't really turn and go, they've lost concentration there. He just gets a run and gets ahead on it. Do you know what I mean? Other times he tries to flick that and he nearly heads it back to the corner taker, or it goes over the bar, or he doesn't get enough on it and it goes well wide or out towards nearly for a throw. It's absolute perfection the way he catches it.
Yeah.
Bobby's goal absolutely finished them. Their heads dropped after putting so much in and still being 1-0 down. After that, it was a game to win and try get another. And we do get another. Let me see. Tom Boland says, tell you what, sorry, I'm not losing it there, Tom. I'll try to get it back now in a second. He says, it's gone. I'm not losing the bleeding thing. It's gone there. But he was saying about Dzeko. Oh, he says, tell you what, Dzeko still got it. Slow as shit, but keeps you on your toes.
Yeah.
He's really good. We've passed 200 likes. Somebody, I think Red Steve wants 300 now, which is getting ridiculous. But
I tell you, he's the closest thing that you'll see in the modern game to what Teddy Sheringham used to be like. No pace whatsoever, but really, really intelligent.
Yeah.
You know, both feet, good in the air, but his intelligence of where to be is second to none. He's right out there.
I think he's an excellent player. I always did.
Yeah.
And
Another comment there, Arturo Vidal. Arturo Vidal won back the years tonight in midfield. He was so busy. You know,
yeah,
he
he
was just.
was, but
I don't think he hasn't got the quality to burst through midfields like he used to.
yeah, but I think Yus says it right there. He said Liverpool takes team souls away. Inter played well.
Yeah.
We just had different gears to move into, and I think we did.
That was the bench.
I think we did.
That's the bench.
Let me
like
see.
you're saying about Diaz. Diaz comes on, and Diaz plays with a freedom, and it's refreshing to see. You know, there was times when I thought you got the ball, and I just go on, run at him. It was Dumfries was there. Take him on. Take him on. He never does. He just sucks you in and then lays a ball off and goes.
Yeah.
And
played a good one too with Trent, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was on look. If he'd hit that first time, I think he scores.
Yeah.
But he took a touch to settle it, and the chance was gone. But that you see that kind of link up play with players who've had a handful of training sessions only bodes well for the future.
4 people don't like the show, Kev. But as I said, if you really don't like it, leave a comment in afterwards and we'll do our best to answer and sort out your issue. Chances are it's 4 people acting the bollocks winding me up as usual. But we can't do that. Like, well, no, by the end, because they usually take them back by the end, or else we have 4 genuine people that don't like what we're doing here tonight. But that's all right as well. But yeah, I was really impressed with the players that come on, I have to say. And Diaz is just do you know when a player comes back from injury and they're running on adrenaline and they're trying mad stuff to impress and they're trying to like look, I'm back and all this sort of shit. I don't like to see that at times. I think just play your game and we know you're good. Play your game and people will just remember you going, oh, he's back. Diaz doesn't look like he's trying to do mad stuff to impress people either. But he just has so much energy when he comes on. And he's like, I'm just going to run at this fella. I'm going to 1-2 here. I'm going to press. And it just looks like it's just natural to him. He's just like, I have all the energy in the world here, lads. You know, he's like a coiled spring waiting to go. And I think it's absolutely, it's brilliant to see. And someone said there earlier, when he gets his first goal, the heavens could open. I can't wait to see his first goal.
And I think it will, because I think when he gets his confidence, I still think he's looking around and not in all the players that he's playing with, but he's like, I better pass here. And there are going to be times in games when he doesn't, and he, you know, when he feels like he's established himself in the squad, then I think you're going to see a serious player. He's a lot better than what I thought he was. Yeah, and that's only after a few appearances. I'm seeing an awful lot in him that I really, really like.
I think I think this is the settling in period where there's a bit of freedom to him, and he's moving around and he's trying to find spots, and he's nearly moving around the pitch trying to link up with different players all the time just to get used to playing with them. And I think when he gets his first goal and he settles down, he probably gets 3 or 4 games on the bounce. I think you'll still see that energy, but I think you'll see more confidence from him to go, well, I can just go with this fella. I can actually start taking fellas on now. Whereas at the moment he's just trying to find his, he's trying to find his bearings with different players in the team. But even when he's there, even doing that, he looks very, very impressive. Emma Kavanagh says no ball is ever dead when Diaz around, never stops.
No.
Mo Salah makes it 2. And I think, and I'm going to say this, when a ball is coming towards Mo Salah across the box like that onto his left foot, I think he's atrocious at finishing.
He scuffs an awful lot, doesn't he?
Scuffs loads of them, Kev. Yeah. Loads of them. He actually scuffs one at one stage, isn't it, at home to someone, and it goes through the keeper's legs. West Ham.
Might be.
Yeah, West Ham.
He's done a few of them, though. He
just seems to... I don't know whether he just be trying to... It doesn't even look like he's trying to guide something. He doesn't look like he's trying to smash it. He seems kind of... He's undecided when that ball comes to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if that's whipped across him, sometimes he even lets it go by him and taps him with his right foot.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? But when this one rolls across, now he absolutely shouts that he wants it, and it goes through a load of bodies, and you can see Andanovic in goal going, oh, for fuck's sake, look where it's gone. But a few people in the chat tonight said he needed that, and I agree. I think just to get everything out of the way, he needed that.
He did, and it'll do him good. But there was parts of his game tonight. Some of his touches were really good. he's tracking back. Some of it was fine, but he looks like he needed something to happen. You know, he just needed to get a run on someone or a shot at something. He was playing. He wasn't like normal, if you know what I mean. He wasn't like he normally is. But saying that, he's always capable. Unlike with Sadio, Mo's always likely. If he's on the pitch, he's likely to do something, or something will fall to him. And tonight it did. It was a scruffy shot, went through legs, probably took a deflection, went in. Happy days. And he'll move on to the next game probably with renewed energy. See that it's Norwich and think,
Yeah.
how low?
Yeah.
We'll have a bit of this.
Absolutely. And you know what? I think it more or less ends the tie. You know,
I think so.
It's 83 minutes, I think.
Yeah. Going by the comments I'm seeing in there from, I think Rory Fitzgerald was putting up the comments from what Inzaghi was saying, basically along the lines of hats off to Liverpool, 2-0, wasn't complaining. There was, and yeah, I don't see them being able to come to Anfield and get a 3-goal gap. The second goal, and you could see it even after the second goal, we were trying to get a third.
Yeah,
you know, and it was like, look, you're in this position now. Try to really put your foot on the throat, kind of thing. But 2-0, I think, I think that does it. I don't think you take any liberties with it.
No.
You know, I think you go as strong as you feel you need to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't see us being pegged back, not by this side. As good as I think they've been, I don't know if they could go again to the level they need to. And I don't think we would be as bad or caught out tactically like we were in stages of that game. I don't think we get caught out again.
Yeah, we've had a good look at them now. Shockley declares, says, don't get the Inter had loads of chances narrative. They had 0 shots on target and their final ball was shy. Liverpool had 2 on target.
They had 9 efforts and they
hit the bar.
I think 6 of them were from inside the box.
Yeah, and there's a couple of blocks in there as well.
Yeah.
Kanate was very good tonight and blocked the cup few. And he hits the...
He blocked one that came across. It was cross that came across to, and Dzeko was sat there on his own.
Yeah, and he blocked
from 8 yards out, and Kanate got the block on.
Yeah, and what's the guy's name? That no one can pronounce his name.
Martinez. Kashanoglu.
Yeah,
Kashanoglu. Yeah, his set piece delivery is really good as well.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was a danger from crosses, from corners. He was another one that apparently we were linked with a few years ago.
Yeah.
And he decided to go to Milan instead, to Italy. I think he went somewhere else before he went to Milan.
Yeah,
he's a very good striker of the ball. He's a good player. He's kind of like James Ward-Prowse type of player. That's how he's a very clean striker of the ball.
Yeah,
and from set pieces, they're always going to be a threat from set pieces.
Yeah, and look, they had plenty of shots. There was loads of blocks. The one off the bar. We had shots, we had blocks, we managed to score 2. I think we gave them a couple of looks and, some good defending and a bit of fortune with that one off the bar probably.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought defence we were very good. I thought Kanate and
Kanate and Van Dijk were very good.
Van Dijk was brilliant. And like Emma Kavanagh says there, Kanate and VVD were immense. Scary that Kanate is only 22. And like, he's played, before he gets to Liverpool, he plays a good bit of football and he has a bit of European experience and stuff like that. But this is the real deal now. Like, he comes
you're
from
at Leipzig and playing in a back three. You're not expected.
Yeah, but when you come from Leipzig, you're thinking, I might get to a knockout stage. I might,
Yeah.
Whereas with Liverpool are looking to win this. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're absolutely looking to win it.
Different
they might
pressure.
do and they might not, but they're absolutely looking to win it. And the experience for him is absolutely immense as well, along with the likes of Harvey Elliott. Even Diaz. Like, Diaz has played for Porto and he's, played big games for Porto. He's played in Europe. But he's in a side now that wants to win the Champions League.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely wants to win the Champions League and push in their domestic stuff as well. Like, the experience for everyone is absolutely brilliant. We've said there that we think that it ends the tie. And you said you go fairly fairly strong in the second leg, but
Yeah.
it will be a case, Kev, of what's going on around that time, what games we have, where we are. If we're still on a winning run in the league and there's still a hope there, you're going to have to temper what you put out on the pitch against Inter Milan because of the situation you're in.
The next game after Inter Milan is that? No, it's we got Norwich Cup, then we got Leeds.
Yeah, I'll tell you now. I have it here in front of me. We have so we've Norwich, Leeds, the cup.
Right.
Then we've Norwich in the FA Cup, West Ham in the league, and then Inter, and then away to Brighton following the Inter game.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's almost impossible to say what you do that far out. It's 3 weeks away. It's a long time. There's a lot of games to be played between now and then. But we've seen 2-0 leads thrown away across Europe in the Champions League before. We've done it.
Yeah.
So you don't take liberties. But at the same time, if the squad is as it is today, with a bit more sharpness in it and a bit more match fitness and what have you, you can still make changes within the squad that was named tonight, and you wouldn't be throwing the arms up in the air. What the hell's he thinking? If he turned around and said, right, I'll start Diaz, I'll start Naby, I'll start Tsimikas, Matip can come in. You can make 4, 5, 6 changes from tonight's starting lineup to the game you play against Inter Milan in the second leg, and it will still be a very, very strong side. That's the advantage of where we are right now.
I think, yeah, absolutely, and that's again once you keep players fit, and you're putting in performance like tonight makes a huge difference to the second leg, and also makes a difference to how you approach, say, Brighton away, and how you approach the game before it. The sort of way they all tack onto each other.
There are certain games in there that we'll be playing, like Leeds at home, Brighton away. They'll be physically demanding games. Brighton are playing really well. Leeds are an intense side to play against. Both sides we should be looking to beat, but at the same time, you'll know you're in a game. After 90 minutes, you'll know you'll have had to run and play hard for those games. So we might hopefully be in a strong position that we can say, okay, we can make a few changes and still be strong for the second leg.
Yeah,
with one eye on silverware in the League Cup as well.
Just an update on our team for the bet, mate. I think Chris told me we finished about 40th
we don't want to talk
in the pot. But Chris is in the chat, so Chris might be able to tell us.
Yeah, he told me it was 41st and with loads of laughy faces.
Okay, so if Chris can update us on how many points we finished with and how many were in the pot, how many points we finished with, and how many points the winner finished with, just so we know how much of our levels.
The other game tonight,
because we had a really big. No, the other game didn't go to plan. I think that killed us. But we need to know. We need to know where we need to step up, because we had a really big chat.
We need to know what the winner of the pot was and what team they played, as to what kind of, is it looked that they might have had the Salzburg scorer that was captain, or that kind of thing. And in fairness, it wouldn't have been a big shock to say put Adeyemi in your side.
Yeah.
That kid. I mean, I had a quick look at the stats in the Bayern game before we came on, and I think Bayern had some like 73% possession and 22 efforts on goal. So it was just a case that it just didn't happen for him or whatever.
Yeah, Laura Duffy reckons those Bayern players dragged the score down. Reclaimer asked how the Bayern got on. They got a late equaliser for a 1-1 draw away at Salzburg. Yeah. Kingsley Coleman got that goal. But yeah, so that's the update. Chris is no doubt having a look at that, and he will post it on to me. He's probably.
Well, you can update that tomorrow on the afternoon show.
Yeah, I probably could. Let me see. Sorry, 41st. Yeah, he just says 44th. He's giving me the info, and he showed me the pots for the rest of the week. So I'm going to have a look at some of them. Saturday 3 p.m. kickoffs. There's loads in there, but we have chosen someone from our chat group to choose the team for the weekend. I'm going to put them in contact with Chris, and we'll go from there. Finish 42nd with 32 points. Winner got 62 points. Bottom got 31 points. So we were bleeding bottom We're a point off the bleeding bottom. Jesus Christ.
Must try harder next time.
Shock late declares that's why, and I just keep thinking of Chocolate Eclairs when I read his name out. He says, if we're all Inter fans, we'd be tearing our hair out, except Keith, at how bad we were in the final third, or how bad we were in the final third. Yeah,
if you're from an Inter Milan perspective,
yeah.
Yes, I mean the thing is, most of their efforts were from inside the box.
There was a lot of blocks from Liverpool players.
Yeah, so it was it bad shot choices? Was it couldn't create the final pass? Panic? You know, this is why I said at the very start when we first came on, you have to take your hat off to Milan, and they played really well. I thought we defended really well.
Yeah,
you know, and that's all part of the game. It's all lovely when everything is rosy and you dominate the ball and you go forward and you have 25 chances and, you know, you might have 15 or 16 on target. They're great games. They're easy to come on and chat about. But the ones you got to dig in and you don't get it all, you're going your own way. That's when you find out about the squad. That's when you find out about what you have. And we know that we've got a really good, hardened, experienced a European with a lot of European experience in that squad, and it will pay benefit for us.
On to Norwich next now at home, 3:00 Saturday, and you know, again, you look at the players that started tonight, you look at the players that come on, you look at the players that didn't come on, and you're thinking again, there's loads of options there, and should have enough to beat Norwich realistically. And we should be able to make a couple of changes and still go and do it. I think Diaz is crying out to be started.
I think he's nailed on to start, and it wouldn't surprise me if Jota is rested.
Diaz, Firmino, Salah, I think.
Yeah. Mo looks like he needs a run of games, you know, just to...
Matip back in at the back.
Yeah, and it wouldn't surprise me if Tsimikas came in as well, because Robbo was really good again tonight. He did an awful lot of work tonight, and it wouldn't surprise me to see maybe 3 or 4 changes at least. There'll be changes in midfield as well.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think you'd start, even if he does start Harvey. I think with Harvey, with the kind of the length of time he's been off, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to have him dip in and out of games. You know, what Pep did with Foden in managing his minutes was probably why your people are seeing the best of him, you know, starting to come through this season. He doesn't need to play every game to show he's good enough. We know he's good enough.
Yeah.
So it's just a case of picking your games and making sure that he's fully fit when we need him. And it's just to help him as well as help the team.
Yeah.
You know, plus,
100%.
while we have options, use the options.
Yeah, 100%. Man of the match today?
Virgil. I thought when you had that crowd that was there and you could hear him barking over the pitch mics to get to drive the line up, to pull him back, some of his clearances, his calmness. There was one time when Dzeko was in and Virgil just went 3 strides, bang, 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 have it, and nicked the ball away from him. I thought he was immense tonight. He was brilliant.
Yeah, I find it hard to disagree with you. I really do.
Yeah, I think Kanate is in with a shout as well, to be fair.
Yeah, I thought Van Dijk was immense again tonight, and you know, it's just
when he's that good though.
It's going on now from the Cardiff, Leicester, Burnley, those 3 games, and you know, he just looks like he's back at levels where he's like, nothing is affecting me anymore, and he's any doubt in his mind for sprinting or going into challenges or, you know, anything like that seems to be gone now.
I thought Fabinho was excellent for the hour that he was on.
Yeah, he was. And Kanate
Henderson did really well when he came on.
Yeah, and Emma Kavanagh reckons a toss-up between Van Dijk and Kanate for man of the match. So yeah, that's fair. Our charity is Féileacáin. Check out their website in the description. It tells you all about them. But take it from me, they're a fantastic charity. And funny enough, like what they're about, I only heard of someone the other day affected by this, and horrible story, and it made me think of them again. And I actually seen somebody on Facebook today that's doing, instead of having their birthday and getting presents, they're taking donations for Féileacáin, which was great to see. But go and check out their website. It's absolutely fantastic work they do, and the amount of money we're trying to raise for them would be huge, absolutely monstrous to them. So check out their website in the description. The link is also there to donate. We had another sponsor come in for the golf day today, which only leaves us two €100 sponsors left for two of the holes on the golf day, which when it's all said and done, we should get close. We go over the 3,000 out of the 10,000 mark, which is great, and we're only in the middle of February. If you can donate, hit the link and go for it. If you can't, take the link and the website and send it to everyone you know. Okay, it's a brilliant cause that we're trying to do work for, and trust me, if we get to this 10k, like we've helped raise $100,000 and €120,000 for Keane and for Sienna. This is only 10,000, but this 10,000 would mean, as you know, so much to this charity. So go and check them out. With regards to our chat on the app, very, very simple. Download the Telegram app. Go into our community tab as a subscriber on our YouTube. The post is about the second one down. You click a link, you give your details. You either sign up for free, which is fine, or you sign up for $2.99 with all proceeds going to charity. You head in there, and there's loads of people in there. So there's a transfer chat, there's a general chat, there's a merchandise chat, there's all the chat around our shows and how you can find them. And there's I think there might be.
There's always someone. I'll tell you one thing with that chat as well. There's always someone there. You know, doesn't matter whether it's
from all over the world. So like, some
it
people
doesn't matter if it's 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if it's 8 o'clock in the morning or it's 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
If something comes into your head that's Liverpool related, fire it into the chat, and I guarantee you'll have a conversation with someone, usually from this chat.
Yeah,
you know, and it is not toxic. It is all friendly. It is a good, honest discussion about Liverpool and what's going on. Plus, there's random shit as well in there. You're always going to get that.
Yeah.
But it's a really good laugh, and it's a good way for everyone in the chat to stay connected. Even tonight, when the game was on, I think the messaging app, when I looked at it at the end of the game, had some like 200, 250 messages that was in it from people who were just watching the game, and they were watching the game together.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
You know, it was brilliant.
Like I said, the original thought on this was if people want to support us with $2.99, we don't want your money, but if you could support it with $2.99, we're going to use it to fund this app, because it doesn't work out free. We have to pay for it at a certain stage to keep it going. But we've decided that we're going to cover the cost for the foreseeable and give all the money to charity. So if you want to that's great. Red Steve says, how's Sienna doing, Gav? Did you remember the €100 for hitting the 12k subs? Mate, we paid that well before the 12k, to be honest with you.
And there was a beautiful picture of Sienna riding
she's cycling bikes and walking around, and she's absolutely flying. Yeah, she's absolutely flying. She's walking on her own. I seen a video the other day, getting out of cars on her own, carrying flowers up to her nanny, stuff. So she's absolutely flying. And of course, she's still going through her physio and stuff, so she's only going to get stronger and stronger. But walking, running, cycling, bikes, you know, whatever it might be, she's
all stuff that 8 months ago was not on the cards.
No,
so
that's the difference it makes. That's the difference it makes. Laszlo says, "How do I join, mate? I've just told you how to join. Come on now, please. I'll say it one more time. You're a subscriber to YouTube. Hit the community tab on our YouTube page. Find the post about the app. Click on the link, give your email address, a couple of details. It takes about a minute. You choose the free option or the $2.99 option, and it gives you all the same content. The $2.99 is just you giving us $2.99 a month that we can push on to our charity. Okay, and you get in there. There's 4 groups in there, stuff about general transfer, merchandise that we do, and all our shows. So you never miss one, or you never know. You'll always know when there's one coming up and stuff like that. So go and check that out. It's really easy to do. It takes about a minute to do, and you'll be in there in no time. So that's how it works. The BetMate stuff we're going to have to get better on. There is a guy in the chat that I just threw it up earlier and said, right, first one in gets the chance to do it on the weekend. So I'm going to link him up with Chris. His name slipped me, but I can't remember. But I'll definitely link him up with Chris. They'll have a chat about it. Chris will tell him the rules. He'll pick his team. Chris will insert it, take a screenshot, show him, and show everyone in the chat, so we can all follow that at the weekend. Brilliant. Kev, anything else before we go?
Nope, just we're going to be doing a show on Friday night. We have a guest on who's Luke Tanner. Luke is a specialist on combat sports, MMA, boxing, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Really good guy, knows his stuff, and we're going to be looking at the Amir Khan Kell Brook fight.
Okay.
what to expect and what's on the card and all that good stuff. Plus, as well, we'll look at the Premier League and all that lovely stuff that to come in the weekends. Looking forward to that one.
Good stuff, good stuff. Laszlo says, sorry, Gav, I was distracted. All right, it's no problem. You Never Walk Alone 97 says, sorry, Gav, I missed. How do I join? Piss off. 6 people
That's going to
don't
be
like
the new
now because
yeah.
there's a mad mix now of people that don't like this show and are just not liking just to annoy me. So that's great. But if, as I said, we have no issue if you don't like this stuff. Don't watch it. But if you do like watching it, but some of the stuff you don't like, please leave in the comments. We're big boys, like, we can take it. Stick in the comments what you'd like to see us done, or that wasn't good, and we'll try our best to change it. And sometimes we go, no, it was really good, fuck off. But look, that's just how it goes. 284 likes, she's absolutely smashed it tonight while the show was on.
Thank you.
Tomorrow, I should be back, fingers crossed, everything going well, with our 2 o'clock show, the Cop Update. And then tomorrow night at 10, Chris Brack hosts I don't know, we'll do a Fat Back 4 special, I don't know what we're going to call it, but it's basically me and Dylan O'Rourke, viewer and listener, and man who told a brilliant story about a Kinder Bueno on a plane going back many moons ago. Me and him versus Chris, who is going to be the host tomorrow night. In the same way Chris and Kev done this quiz and Shawnee and Dabo done this quiz, we're going to have a go at it. So that's how it's going to go tomorrow.
Dabo and Shawnee have set the target really high. So
really high, really high. So
gettable.
So bring your cans. Make sure you've loads of time in your hands, because when I get asked a question, I like to take my time over answering it. And if Dylan O'Rourke jumps in and says the wrong answer, I'll bleed and hunt him down and kill him.
This will be fun.
Barry Devon, you reckon, still in his studying hard tonight? Hasn't seen him on here. I told him to study.
He has been in, to be fair.
I told him.
He has been.
It's all good. But listen, that has been the full-time Reds. Inter Milan 0, Liverpool 2. It looks like we have more than 1 foot in the quarterfinals now at this stage. It's a good win. Wasn't the best of performances, but we used plenty of bodies. We got the win. Firmino and Salah getting the goals, and we move on now to Norwich at the weekend. Enjoy what's left of your Wednesday evening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Over and out.